This is probably one of the most common questions that I get is, what do you do when a horse refuses to go forward? So today I'm going to show you two ways, two things that you can do to change your horse's mind, to convince him to willingly go forward. And if, that goes for if you're in the arena, out on the trail, trying to ride your horse away from home. When your horse stops and refuses to go forward, I'm not going to go over too much about why your horse is doing that. But if your horse is refusing to go forward, usually it's from pain or discomfort, from fear, maybe a lack of training, lack of respect, maybe some rider error. But usually those are the basic reasons why horses refuse to go forward. I talked about this in another video. I'll put that video at the end of this video if you want to go watch that. But there's two ways that I go about when I have a horse that's refusing to go forward, how I change their mind, how I convince them to move out. One way is to go through their feet to get to their mind. The other way is to go through the mind to get to their feet. So I got a question recently from one of my viewers, and she has a young horse, and he's great on the ground. But in the arena, they have some sticky moments in the saddle, and she gets a little bit nervous, but the horse will refuse to go forward, and the horse wants to back up. Okay, so it sounds like there's a lack of training in there. But there's two things that you can try. You said you tried disengaging the hindquarters, which I still recommend. Disengaging the hindquarters, especially if you have a horse that gets agitated, just to keep you a little, just to keep you safe. Disengaging those hindquarters where you pick up that nose, put your leg back there, and you said the horse won't move when you do this. The horse won't move their hind end. Well, you might have to, carry a crop or a dressage whip and, pick up that nose, put your leg back there. If the horse doesn't want to move that hind end, then you can tap behind your leg and get that hind end unlocked. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, something else. This is what I would do. If the horse is offering to back up, they're refusing to go forward, and they want to back up, I would over agree with him. I'd say, if you don't want to go forward, you want to back up, and then let's back up. So I'd back circles. I'd back a left circle, right circle, and I would continue backing until the horse. I could feel them getting sticky. Yeah, I could just feel like, I don't really want to back up anymore, and then I'd ask them to go forward. But for you to feel a little bit nervous, the other way that I think would work better for you is going through the mind to get to the feet. So this is what I call reset and repeat. So when your horse stops and refuses to go forward, and you're going to need to carry like a crop or a dressage whip. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask with your seat, tell with your legs, you put your legs on, and then with your dressage whip, your crop, you're just going to just tap right behind your leg, and then just stop asking and relax. You're gonna reset. You're gonna reset. Even if your horse walked off from that, but if your horse is refusing to go forward, this is gonna take a little bit. But if your horse walked off from that, then great, let them move. But this can take a few times. So you're gonna repeat. So you're gonna ask with your seat, tell with your legs, tap behind your leg, and then stop asking. Relax. Wait a few seconds and repeat. And try it again. And then, after this might take quite a few times. In my experience, it usually takes 4 or 5 times of repeating this. And, as soon as the horse even takes a step, just leave him alone. If the horse walks off, leave him alone. Don't get greedy. Better yet, pet their neck, tell them good job. But if they stop again, then you're going to do reset and repeat again. So you might find that more helpful. That's going through the mind to get to the feet. So those are just two ways to change your horse's mind by convincing them to willingly go forward. Is by not arguing with them, not getting frustrated, not trying to make them go. I've seen it many times where the horse will stop and refuse to go forward, and that person is just kicking and spurring and spanking, getting frustrated. The horse is getting agitated or frustrated, or I've seen horses just shut down. They just shut you out. Don't argue with your horse. You wanna change their mind. You wanna convince them that going forward is the best option, and you can do that by doing those 2 techniques that I just, showed you. So, I hope you found that helpful. If you're still struggling, let me know, but you gotta stick to it. Some people, they wanna do it for, like, 5 minutes, and, they just get frustrated, they get off, or they get scared. That you gotta stick to it. Some horses, it takes a while for you to change their mind, but if you keep at it and you keep going, you can. You will change the horse's mind. You will convince them to willingly go forward. So I hope you found that helpful. So for those of you who don't know, I did start a Patreon page. I got some more videos over there, some exclusive content. I put a new video up at least once a week. You can join for free or you can become a paid member. I To me, it's just a little bit more personal, one-on-one. So if you have any questions, you want to send me a video, you just want some extra help, then go check out my Patreon. And for those of you that already become a member or join for free, I really appreciate it. It really helps. So